Right now at 5, cleanup begins after a tornado touches down yesterday afternoon in Jasper County, Missouri.
We've got some patchy fog out there and a couple of thunderstorms this morning. We will clear out, though. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we have an update on the Goodman, Missouri Police Department 1 year after officers resigned.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Oh, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner, joining y'all.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. My box was not where it was supposed to be.
And I normally don't like to read the news like this.
It's probably not a comfortable position to have to squat down. I thought we had to do that a couple of times too, and this box wasn't here. For those of you at home, maybe do not know, I'm pretty short. If you haven't seen me in person, and so there's literally a box I have to stand on, or I am not tall enough to be at this desk.
Well, not even that. I am also extremely tall.
That's true. That's true too, and it makes the situation even worse. So that's a tough call. So yesterday, of course, we had that landspout tornado developed rather quickly. We were Doug, I know, posted about this. We were in a meeting, ironically, about severe weather from last week. I was here in the studio. I was watching our camera at 7th and Rangeline. We saw some rotation. Our news director came down, and we realized what we had going on there.
Absolutely,
so we went on the air as quickly as we could before the warning was officially issued. And boy, what a day yesterday.
Certainly, yes.
Today, though, will be considerably calmer. This is a look from our camera on the Cornell complex. Nothing frightening on this camera this morning. We do have some patchy fog out there. We don't have any fog advisories at this point, but we do have some of that patchy fog. Same view from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Rangeline. Again, we got some fog out there, not overly dense, but definitely some reduced visibility. So do be aware of that as you're heading out. And this is what it looks like. Again, it's patchy, kind of right along I-44 and points south. So some reduced visibilities, especially right here around Mount Vernon and Monette. In Aurora, you need to make sure that you're just careful out there. Slow down if you run into some denser fog. We also have a couple of scattered thunderstorms out there this morning, some in northeastern Oklahoma. We got one in southeastern Newton County and one near Monette. Nothing severe, nothing intense with these storms at this point. Don't expect that to happen, but of course we'll watch them as they go through the morning hours. And they should begin to dissipate before too much longer as they start to roll out. Just a little weak disturbance there that's triggering some of those showers and thunderstorms. And then we'll gradually begin to clear out today. 60 in Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh out there. Temperatures around the region, not too bad for this time of the morning. We're mid-upper 50s, and then we've got low 60s the further south that you go. So a bit of a cool start, but otherwise not too bad. Kids get on the bus. We're looking at cloudy skies, northeast breeze about 5 to 10, and sitting right around 60 degrees. And as we clear out this afternoon, that will allow us to warm up a bit as well. Partly cloudy skies, 76 when the bus brings them home. Southeast breeze around 5 to 10. We're looking at highs in the low to mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s here and there. And again, some gradual clearing as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. There may be an isolated shower or storm this afternoon. I think 98% of us will remain dry. And then we've got increasing thunderstorm chances as we go into the weekend. And we are watching a potential severe threat once again as we head into Monday and Tuesday across the area. We'll have all the details on that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Now, this was the funnel cloud as it passed north of Joplin around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. KOAM showed it live on air, falling, rising, and reforming shortly before the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning. The tornado caused some structural damage northwest of the Joplin airport. The Weather Service confirmed the tornado just east of Nashville, Missouri, near the Barton-Jasper County line before it dissipated west of Lamar. And cleanup efforts are still underway in parts of Carl Junction yesterday evening. The twister damaged several homes in the Red Oak Loop neighborhood. We're told everyone was safe, and the storm downed trees on both sides of the street. One even crushed through the roof of a home. Volunteers arrived to help as soon as the storm blew through.
Things like this happen. It's really neat to see the community, come together, helping each other. We saw neighbors helping neighbors. There was people out, firefighters were up on the roof with us with chainsaws, and, it's just a great thing.
Before the twister reached the Red Oak neighborhood, it touched down along the Dogwood Trails loop south of Gum Road. There it tore down trees, ripped apart fences, and tore into some roofs of 2 homes. One of those homeowners was taking a nap when the tornado arrived.
Sudden, I get woken up, by the storm hitting, and just all of a sudden started hearing heavy winds blowing things against our black back glass, and it woke me up. And then I hear things start ripping away, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is more than just heavy wind.
Residents in the Dogwood Trails neighborhood say the sirens didn't start going off until they went outside to inspect the damage. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Goodman, Missouri's chief of police says they're fully staffed a year after the force resigned. Last year, the entire Goodman Police Department resigned after John Bunch became mayor. The former police chief alleged that Bunch threatened the department multiple times. Bunch resigned after a mass walkout by city workers. Clay Sexton is now mayor. According to Goodman's chief of police, Samuel Townsend, the department holds no grudges towards Bunch or Sexton.
But both mayors are very good people. They have great character. They're hard workers. From the beginning, both mayors agreed we have a conservative budget, but we have everything we need to prevent crime and protect the community.
Townsend says the key to the recovery of the police department was being more active within the community. This Sunday, many Kansas City University Medical School students will celebrate their graduation. For one student, the ceremony is even more meaningful. KOAM's Fernanda Silva and a chief photographer, Ty Parks, tell us why.
People like me don't become doctors. There's just too much to fight, too much against. So I didn't think it's something that I could do.
But giving up was not an option for the soon-to-be Dr. Alice Pulsifer.
If I give up every time something difficult happens or hard happens, I just feel like I'd be very dissatisfied with myself.
Pulsifer's story reads like a script from a Hollywood movie. From losing her family's home and business to grappling with pregnancy at 16, marriage, divorce, and a battle with thyroid cancer, her determination to become a doctor remained unshaken.
I don't want to say it came naturally, because there's definitely days where I did not want to get out of bed or keep going, or things just get really hard.
The Arizona native moved to Joplin with her husband and 4 kids. During medical school, juggling a full-time job, she stumbled in her first year, but returned to excel with honors. Yet, her personal storm wasn't over.
Second year of medical school started, and my husband's grandpa, who was living with us at the time, had a stroke and he passed. And that kind of started to rock the boat for us. And then in January of that year, my husband got in a car accident and died.
It wasn't easy, but she found comfort and support in fellow med school students and in the Joplin community, a place she hopes to call her forever home. In medical terms,
so I might not be a Joplin native, but I'm a Joplin transplant. I'm really, really happy to be here. Really glad that I can actually make a difference in people's lives and pay back some of the kindness that has been shown to me, because I feel like I've been shown nothing but kindness constantly.
As she's ready to receive her title of doctor, her goal is to give back to the community.
Also just a lot of suffering that people experience, and if I can ease that suffering in any capacity, then I will feel a lot of satisfaction in my life.
And to be an inspiration to her kids.
And I hope that my kids see that it's worth it. I hope that they can fight for their dreams.
Just like their mom did. In Joplin, KOAM News.
Pulsifer is looking forward to commencement. KCU's ceremony will be held at MSSU Liggett and Platt Athletic Center at 10 a.m. In July, Pulsifer will begin working as an internal medicine resident physician at Freeman Health System. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The MIAA Conference announces its annual postseason awards. We'll have the latest. Plus, Krispy Kreme is bringing its donuts to the land of pretzels with plans to open its first shops in Germany. And we have a nice and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Pittsburgh State football has 2 of its football alumni getting picked up by NFL teams after the draft concluded this past weekend. One of those being Rico Payton, who signs with the New Orleans Saints as an undrafted free agent. Former Gorilla cornerback says he feels honored to represent the Pitt State football program at the next level.
Pittsburgh State is a great school. I had a great team. I love all my coaches, my teammates, teachers who've helped me out, and just the school in general was a great place for me. I learned a lot and just proud to represent the Gorillas.
Just over 2 months ago, the Pitt State men's and women's track and field teams both finished first place at the MIAA Indoor Championships. This weekend, the Gorillas try to replicate and build on their success at the Outdoor MIAA Championships. Head coach Kyle Rutledge says both groups are prepared and focused.
I think we're very ready. Our kids do a great job of getting ready for the conference championship and what we gear for going into this time of the year. But our kids look good, they feel good mentally, physically. So we're excited about this weekend. I mean, it's conference weekend. There's no better weekend than right now, and our kids are excited.
The MIAA baseball tournament begins later today. Yesterday afternoon, the conference announces its annual postseason awards. Frontenac High School alum and Emporia State infielder Logan Myers is named 2024 MIAA Co-Freshman of the Year. He shares the award with Jack Scott from Central Missouri. Pittsburgh native has a .301 batting average with the second most hits, runs, and walks for the Hornets in the regular season. Here's a look at the Missouri Southern players that receive all MIAA honors. Starting pitcher Cole Gaiman and shortstop Henry Kuziak are named to the first team All-Conference. Drew Townsend is on the second team. Will Doherty is on the third team All-MIAA. Kuziak is named to the Gold Glove team as well. Then Trent Harris, Kyle Moore, Garrett Rice, Ethan Clark, and Tragan Parker all receive honorable mention status. And here are the Pittsburgh State Baseball's All-Conference honorees. Dylan Krishnajoy Fu is on the first team All-MIAA. Tanner Leslie, Boston Dowd, and Nixon Brannon are all on the second team. Dagan Brady is the lone gorilla on the third team All-MIAA. Brady Peshu, Cade Clemens, Josh Holmes, and Blake Mosley are all receiving honorable mention status from the MIAA. The MIAA softball tournament enters the quarterfinal round yesterday in Edmond, and that's where Missouri Southern's season comes to an end. The Lions fall 3-1 to the top seed in the conference, Rogers State. Southern finishes its 2024 campaign with a 33-22 record. Lions say goodbye to 3 seniors, Adriana Young, Kara Amos, and Yasmin Vargas. Pittsburgh State was supposed to play its first game of the MIAA tournament yesterday evening against Fort Hays State, but weather delayed the start for a couple of hours before the conference announces it'll be postponed until later this morning at 11:30. If the Gorillas win that game, they'd play the semifinal just a few hours later at 4:30. Well, still to come, I have some tips on how to help students overcome test anxiety. Plus, got another check of that forecast as we're not done with thunderstorm chances just yet. That and more when the KOAM Morning News returns. Ain't nobody gonna tell me where I'm gonna put.
PK Animal Advocates invite you to Jolly Fox Brewery for a Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:19 on this finally Friday here in the 4 states after a busy day yesterday with thunderstorms across the area. We're a little calmer this morning. Do have some scattered storms out there. But right now, bigger deal right at this point is the patchy fog. As you can see, it's not super dense in Joplin, but nonetheless, we do have some reduced visibilities out there. That was our camera on the Cornell complex. This is the MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. And of course, you can see that patchy fog out there. Then as we head a little further north, just south of Pittsburgh on 69, there's some patchy fog, but it's not as dense as it is as you head a little further to the south. Visibilities, again, they're reduced almost right along and to the south of the I-44 corridor out there. So that's why, again, Pittsburgh's got 9.5 miles of visibility. 10 is supposed to be the traditional max there. So anything under that is a little bit reduced. So you do want to slow down, especially if you're on I-44 or US 60 heading out to the east. We got some thicker fog out there. No dense fog advisories, though, at this point. Skywatch Storm Tracker. We have a few isolated, widely scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms down there into northeastern Oklahoma, near Grove, Veneta, just north of Jay, and then into southeastern Newton County, heading into Berry County, just south of Monette. No severe weather out there, nor are we anticipating any out of this activity. It should begin to dissipate over the next couple of hours as we head towards sunrise and a little after that. However, we still have mostly cloudy skies. A little further to the west, starting to see some clearing out there. So some locations again today may be a little warmer than your neighbors, but we are going to be a bit warmer today once we start to clear. Now we have a severe risk. This is for late this evening into the overnight hours. We have a very low tornado risk. You can see no areas highlighted. I want to remind you that yesterday by the noon news, we had no areas highlighted. But we still put very low because with any severe weather, the tornado threat is typically never zero. It can be very low. It can be a high chance out of 100, but it's never zero. So we want to keep that in mind. We do have a low hail risk and low wind risk across parts of southeast Kansas. Tonight's severe threat is expected to be relatively isolated. We're going to have slightly better chances for some stronger storms as we go into our Saturday. A few isolated strong storms in our far southern counties out there on Sunday. And then we are tracking a potentially more significant severe threat as we head into Monday evening and overnight into early Tuesday morning. For today, clouds will begin to clear. An isolated shower, maybe a thunderstorm will be possible as we head into the evening, but I think most of us are going to remain dry, where better chances of showers and thunderstorms will come as we head toward tomorrow morning. So here we are at 5 a.m. These are going to be scattered out there. This isn't going to be a line of storms. We're not expecting a major complex or anything widespread, but we will see some showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours on our Saturday. And again, some of those could be strong to low-grade severe out there. And then we'll see redevelopment taking place as we head into the afternoon on Saturday. Overnight, we clear out from the rain and we start to get a little cloudy again. And as we head into Sunday, we get another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms, and they'll be spending the majority of the day with us on our Sunday out there before they start to clear out. And then as we head into next week, we are still watching that severe risk Monday into Tuesday. We're at 60 in Joplin right now. Foggy, as you can see. East-northeast breeze at 5. Temperatures as you head out the door, not too bad. A little cool in some locations. Iola, for example, at 54. But we're otherwise upper 50s, low 60s out there. We get our morning started. We're going to spend the majority of the morning cloudy, and we'll eventually make it into the upper 60s. And then again, these clouds will begin to clear progressively as we head into the afternoon. And we're eventually looking at highs right around the mid, maybe even upper 70s. Mid 70s for our Saturday, a little cooler on Sunday. And then again, Monday evening into Tuesday, yes, the chances of storms are relatively low, but the storms we see do have that potential to be strong to severe Monday night into Tuesday. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Pause in the activity Wednesday, a few scattered storms Thursday, not too bad next Friday and Saturday, and watching additional showers next Sunday. That's a check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Every life in the Force Day should be celebrated and remembered.
Door prizes, and more.
This morning, the Federal Aviation Administration has approved 3 additional antidepressants for pilots and air traffic controllers. The medication is sold under the brand names Cymbalta, Effexor and Prestige. The move adds an additional category of antidepressants known as SNRIs to the government's list of antidepressants that can be considered acceptable. The list previously included several SSRI medications like Lexapro and Zoloft. Federal rules require pilots and air traffic controllers to get a medical exam by an FAA-approved doctor as frequently as 6 months in some cases. The agency's approach to mental health drew public attention last year when an off-duty pilot charged with trying to crash a plane told police about his depression. Millions of U.S. children are living with anxiety, and this time in the school year can be a bit overwhelming with tests, quizzes, and exams. Mandy Gaither has tips from a licensed therapist on how to help students overcome this anxiety. Oops.
As the school year starts to wind down, the stressors may begin to pile up.
You have final exams and standardized tests, big projects, just a lot of things coming to a close.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says anxiety in children can lead to symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, irritability. It can push a child to procrastinate, withdraw, or isolate themselves to focus on school and the pressure they feel.
So it's just important to really pay attention to some of these behavioral signs that they might be struggling with some anxiety, but don't necessarily have the words to name it.
Baumstein says parents can help ease anxiety, offer to watch your child practice a presentation, carve out free time to give them a break from studying, ask open-ended questions to monitor how they're doing, and listen.
We want to just acknowledge and validate, yes, it makes sense to me if you're feeling nervous. I get that. That immediately puts their mind at ease because they see that there's nothing wrong with them for feeling that way.
Baumstein says these skills can build resilience and stay with students through adulthood.
It might be a test, a quiz, a presentation now, but it's going to be something else when they're older.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Baumstein says healthy practices like prioritizing good quality sleep, balanced nutrition, physical activity, and reducing screen time can also help set a child up for success. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Well, we've got some patchy fog, even a couple of showers and storms out there this morning. Nothing strong or severe, but we'll have another look at your forecast and how the rest of our Friday is shaping up when we come back.
Being accepted on April 30th and May 1st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Right now at 5:30, Lamar, Missouri gets ready for its annual celebration of President Harry S. Truman.
We've got some patchy fog out there and a couple of stray thunderstorms this morning as well. We're expecting clearing those as we head into the afternoon. The latest on that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, some Joplin residents gather to celebrate the National Day of Prayer.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. So, of course, yesterday we had that funnel and that brief tornado that occurred in Jasper County and led into Barton County. Did lead to some minor damage, and we'll have more on that, of course, throughout the morning show. This morning, though, we're considerably calmer out there. We've got some fog. We do have some thunderstorm activity. That will dissipate. The fog will burn off, and our day today looking much better. Let's take a quick look. This is the MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line out there. We got some patchy fog here and there. It's not overly dense, but there are some patchy dense spots. This camera, of course, is a little out of focus because of the fog. They're all on autofocus, and so kind of throws it off sometimes. But we are dealing with some patchy fog. It is primarily along and to the south of the I-44 corridor. That doesn't mean it's only confined to there. As you can see, Carthage a little further north of I-44, still some reduced visibilities. And again, they're not greatly reduced, but they are reduced. So you do want to make sure you slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going, especially if you're traveling on I-44 or US 60 this morning. Just be aware of that, and do also watch out for areas of denser fog as well, especially low-lying areas and water crossings and areas since we've had so much rain where there may be some puddles of water, some pools of water sitting out there as well. Skywatch Watch Storm Tracker. We've got a few scattered storms in northeastern Oklahoma, and a couple of showers into southwest Missouri. No severe weather. In fact, lightning detector's not picking up on any lightning out of these, so that's some good news. These are going to continue to dissipate as we go through the morning. As you can see, they're not really moving a lot, similar to yesterday morning storms, where they just kind of sat and trained over the same areas. And again, they will eventually begin to die out over the next hour or so. 60 in Joplin right now, 59 in Pittsburgh, and as you can see, not nearly as foggy the further north you go. Around the area, temperature's not bad, a little cooler in Iola at 54. Otherwise, we're in the upper 50s and low 60s as we get this Friday underway. Of cloudy skies when the kids get on the bus this morning. 60 northeast breeze around 5 to 10, while gradual clearing as we head into the afternoon. So about partly cloudy, right around 76 southeast breeze 5 to 10 when that bus brings them home. We're looking at highs into the mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s out there. And again, skies will progressively clear. An isolated shower or storm will be possible this afternoon. I think 98% of us will remain dry. However, we've got more thunderstorm chances heading into the overnight hours and into the weekend, and some of those could be a bit on the strong side. We'll break down all the details on that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, Truman Day is coming up on Saturday, and officials at the Harry S. Truman Birthplace Historic Site in Lamar, Missouri are prepping for the day's events. President Truman is the only president born in Missouri. He served from 1945 to 1953. In 1959, Truman's birthplace in Lamar, Missouri was dedicated as a historic site. For more than 30 years now, the community has held annual birthday celebrations. The site administrator says it's an honor to continue to keep a part of American history preserved.
Well, we get to see people from all over the world that come here to see where President Truman was born, but some of the neat ones that I've encountered people that were in World War II. When I first started here, they would say that Harry saved their life, dropping the atomic bombs. I've had Secret Service that worked with the Trumans, and they kind of tell us some of the insides and stuff of living close next to the Trumans at Independence.
The Truman Day celebration will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. The Joplin High School Philanthropic Society presented an almost $12,000 check to the organization One Joplin. To raise funds, this student-led club worked on several fundraising projects during the year. The money will help restock the JHS food pantry, as well as create an angel fund helping students with food insecurity to access food from the cafeteria.
We all go to Joplin High School. We can all see that there is an issue that needs to be addressed, and they said it in there, you can't learn on hungry, when you're hungry on an empty stomach, and that's so true. Every day we walk the halls and we see students who, need a little bit of help in that kind of area.
I think it's just amazing to see students that are spending their time to raise funds with the heart of giving those funds to make an impact in their community. That I think it's just incredible.
This is not the first time the Joplin High School Philanthropic Society has supported local organizations. In 2023, they raised $15,000 for Rafa International. The year before, $11,000 were donated to Foster Adopt Connect. Some Joplin residents came together yesterday to celebrate the National Day of Prayer, including several members of the City Council. This is the 72nd annual Day of Prayer, where believers take time to gather and invite God into their lives. Local organizers say it's great to see the community come together like this.
This is one of those days where, as a nation, we're lifting up our voices to the Lord, and we're certainly saying to Him, Lord, we know we need you in our life and want you in our life and want you in our nation, and come and help us. And we live in challenging times, and in these challenging times, if there's anyone we need help from, it's definitely the Lord.
The National Day of Prayer is held on the first Thursday of May every year. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Olympic flame is making its way to France while being heavily protected by the Italian Coast Guard. Plus, U.S. is increasing pressure on Hamas to accept the latest ceasefire proposal. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch. Krispy Kreme is bringing its donuts to the land of pretzels with plans to open its first shops in Germany early next year. It's starting in Berlin. The expansion is in partnership with restaurant group ISH Cream, which manages 300 KFC and Pizza Hut restaurants in Germany. The expansion follows Krispy Kreme's very successful launch in Paris in December. The Charlotte, North Carolina-based chain currently operates in more than 35 countries. The Olympic flame is making its way to France, and it's being heavily protected by the Italian Coast Guard. The flame is seen sailing on a ship through the Mediterranean Sea yesterday on a journey bringing it to the Paris Summer Olympics. The flame, a symbolism of peace, was lit at Olympia April 16th in a ceremony that links the ancient games with today's modern Olympics. Once it reaches France, the torch will then travel across the country beginning May 8th. A new study finds Russian state media is ramping up its English and Spanish presence on TikTok. The Brookings Institution report says the engagement on such videos has doubled from last year. They include attacks on President Biden's policy on Israel as well as Biden's age. The nonprofit group's report notes the vast majority of the videos by state-owned media outlets, their workers, and government officials do not explicitly focus on U.S. politics. The report also predicts Russia's use of TikTok will increase as the November U.S. presidential election draws closer. TikTok says the company clearly labels state-controlled media accounts. The social media company pledges to increase its labeling to address accounts trying to influence politics outside of their home nation in coming weeks. The U.S. is increasing pressure on Hamas to accept the latest ceasefire proposal. There is, however, a key sticking point. Correspondent Jeff Paul has the latest from Tel Aviv.
As the war in Gaza nears 7 months, a new hostage deal might be on the horizon. Hamas will reportedly send a delegation to Egypt, releasing a statement saying its leader, Ismail Haniyeh, had affirmed the group's positive spirit in studying the ceasefire proposal. The comments come on the heels of U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to the region, his 7th since the start of the war in October. After stops in Saudi Arabia and Jordan, Blinken landed in Israel. While speaking directly to families of hostages, Blinken pressured Hamas to accept Israel's latest offer.
There is a very strong proposal on the table right now. Hamas needs to say yes and needs to get this done. That is our determination, and we will not rest, we will not stop until you're reunited with your loved one.
Blinken didn't reveal the details of the proposed deal, but it could look similar to November's agreement, which involved an exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners and a pause in the fighting. The potential ceasefire comes at a critical time, as Israel prepares to move ground troops into the southern city of Rafah in Gaza. That's where more than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering from the fighting. Despite Blinken reaffirming the U.S. cannot support a major ground operation in Rafah, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says it will happen eventually.
We will do what is necessary in order to win and overcome our enemies, including in Rafah, in order to secure our future.
As it stands, negotiations are ongoing. However, one hurdle getting in the way, Hamas demanding not only a full withdrawal of Israeli troops, but a permanent ceasefire. That runs counter to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying in order to end the war, they have to eliminate Hamas by going into Rafah.
That's it for World Watch. We'll be right back.
It's 2nd Street in Joplin.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 546 on this Friday morning here in the 4 states, and a much calmer day for us, although we do have some scattered thunderstorms out to the south. We'll take a look at that in a moment. First, the fog tracker. We still have some dense fog primarily across southwestern Missouri out there. So this is including stretches of I-49, I-44, US 60. So if you're traveling out there this morning, just be aware that we do have some dense fog here and there, and make sure that you are also paying attention for if that fog happens to thicken up in some locations, that you are prepared prepared to slow down. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we've got some, again, scattered showers in the southwestern Missouri. These are beginning to kind of fizzle out. We do have a couple of thunderstorms down into northeastern Oklahoma, one just north of Veneta, and this one in between Grove and Jay, probably just getting into the Grove area right now. The good news is nothing strong, nothing severe, nor is any of that expected. These will continue to kind of die out over the next hour or so, and then we'll begin to see gradually clearing skies as we head through today. By late night, we do have that possibility of a strong to low-grade severe thunderstorm. Our tornado threat is very low. You can see there's no areas highlighted. But again, this is what happened with the noon news yesterday. There were no areas highlighted, but we still had that tornado in Jasper and Barton counties. So remember, with severe weather, even if there's not a risk area highlighted, the threat is never zero. It may be extraordinarily low, but with severe thunderstorms, it's never zero. We have a low-end hail risk and wind risk across parts of southeastern Kansas as well out there. And then we'll continue to see the possibility for some strong to potentially low-grade severe storms for us on our Saturday. And then a few thunderstorms on Sunday with that low-end risk staying pretty far to our south. So let's take a look. Today, we're going to see those clearing skies gradually so as we head into the afternoon and evening. A stray shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm will be possible this afternoon and evening, but I think 98% of us will remain dry. Our better thunderstorm chances will come overnight tonight. So again, just keep in mind with how the outlooks work. This is where we're going to initially see those strong thunderstorms, and we could see some throughout the day. Now in the morning, they're going to be relatively scattered. Through about the noon hour, we'll see those scattered showers and storms. Then we'll see some redevelopment taking place as we head into the evening. So here we are at 5 o'clock, a few scattered showers and storms out there. They will pause again overnight, and then as we head into early Sunday morning, we'll get another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're expecting a few more showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. And again, we do have that low-end risk for some stronger storms as we go into Saturday and possibly into Sunday as well, south of I-44. Then as we head into our Monday, that's where we're keeping an eye on another potential round of strong to severe thunderstorms. We're at 60 in Joplin right now, northeast breeze at 6. It is foggy out there, of course. The cool spots this morning has been Iola. The rest of us, for the most part, upper 50s and low 60s. So a cool, but otherwise not too bad of a start to the day. As we get our morning underway, it will be cloudy. Some gradual clearing eventually start to take place this afternoon. We'll be upper 60s by late morning. Despite the clouds this morning, we will be warmer today. So we're looking at highs right around the mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s out there. And then again on Monday, so I want to talk about that. We're watching that possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms late Monday evening into Tuesday morning across the area. So we got to keep an eye on that for you. We'll be 80 Monday, 72 Tuesday. Pause on Wednesday, a few showers and storms Thursday, another break Friday and Saturday, more showers by next Sunday. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Check us out at the Salvation Army Thrift Store, and thank you for helping the Salvation Army do the most good.
Well, Star Trek told us space was the final frontier, but the final destination of the show's original Starship Enterprise model was unknown for decades. After the miniature that made the whole show possible mysteriously went missing. Jeremy Roth has a deep space cold case update for us in today's Take a Look at This.
An iconic relic made famous in the original Star Trek TV series has at long last made the voyage home after boldly going missing for decades. This 3-foot model of the Starship Enterprise was the original one used in the famous sci-fi show's opening credits and its 1965 pilot episode. However, in the 1970s, the model inexplicably went missing. Fast forward to 2024, when Heritage Auctions says they were contacted by someone claiming to have found the marooned miniature reportedly in a Beverly Hills storage unit. The auction house was able to authenticate the model and arrange its safe return to Gene Roddenberry Jr., son of the show's famous creator, who says he remembers seeing the model on his father's desk as a child. Now back where it belongs, hopefully this priceless relic will continue to live long and prosper. And from the good news to the bad. a bizarre viral tourist attraction known as the Chicago Rat Hole is no more. This quiet Chi-Town sidewalk became a hot spot to trot after a rat seemingly met wet cement and made quite an impression, literally giving the city rat splat fever and a new viral claim to fame. But recently the city reportedly removed the infamous section of concrete, possibly as part of a greater sidewalk replacement initiative. It's a bummer, but before you say, "You dirty rats," just know the city claims to have preserved the impression and may find a new home for it in the future. At least, that's the word on the street. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
It's probably more important than ever to consult.
6 nights a week on KOAM TV.
A movie idea almost becomes a real snakes on a plane event, but gets thwarted thanks to security agents. Goodness gracious, snakes alive, and they were inside a passenger's clothing at Miami International Airport last Friday. Transportation security agents at the checkpoint stopped the passenger who had 2 small snakes inside a small camouflage bag inside their pants. The TSA called Customs and Border Protection for help. It's not known if the snakes were pets or were trying to be smuggled through the airport. The TSA did not say if the unidentified passenger was arrested. As we head into the weekend, Friday today is the perfect time to celebrate National Garden Meditation Day. May 3rd holiday encourages people to take time out of their hectic routines and get outside and meditate. The holiday, which seems to date back to early 2000s, provides a reminder that people need a time out to relax, rejuvenate, and get in touch with nature. Gardening lovers and meditation enthusiasts have the garden lady C.L. Fernani to thank for the holiday. She pointed out that dealing with plants helps with connecting with our inner selves. And if you are celebrating National Garden Meditation Day, don't forget to take a picture and post with the hashtag Garden Meditation Day.
And we've got ourselves some patchy fog as we get our day underway, so it might be a little difficult to see your garden. Then we'll start to see clearing of the fog. Cloudy skies initially, upper 60s by late morning. As we head into the afternoon, skies continue to gradually clear out. We'll be a little warmer today, mid 70s, maybe some upper 70s out there as well. And we could see a stray shower or storm this afternoon, but I do believe about 98% of us will remain dry. We may not see much of anything. Partly cloudy through the evening. And then overnight, we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. A couple of strong, possibly low-grade severe storms will be possible, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Falling back into the upper 50s. We'll have the possibility of some scattered storms Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, again, some strong to low-grade severe storms may be possible as we go into the morning. We'll get a pause in the afternoon. They return in the evening. Scattered storms throughout the day on Sunday. We are watching a severe threat late Monday into Tuesday. So we're going to keep a close eye on that for you. Otherwise, some scattered storms Monday and Tuesday. 80 on Monday, 72 on Tuesday. Breaking the rain on Wednesday. A few more thunderstorm chances on Thursday. Not a bad Friday and Saturday. And then we're watching additional shower and thunderstorm chances by next Sunday. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Stream KOAM News now on the TV app. Available for